Everybody, it's Gina here from Gina Makes It. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new video in a brand new year. Happy 2025 to you. In today's video, I am showing you how I transfer my images from Pinterest into a Google Docs document so I can print them and use them inside of my journal. So of course, the first thing that I do is save my images in Pinterest to a local file on my computer. This way it's very easy to access them all in one place when I am just dragging and dropping them into my Google Docs. So I'm simply right-clicking on the image that I want to save. I'm navigating to the same folder and I'm just calling it a generic name. For this scenario, I'm just naming all of these Winter 1, Winter 2, Winter 3, Winter 4, so on and so forth. So then I know which images I just saved and which images I want to pull. So I am on my winter board in my Pinterest account. I will link my Pinterest account down below in case you'd like to take a look to see what I have going on in there. So once I finish saving these images, I'm going to launch Google Docs and I'm going to select a brand new document. Now, the way that I launch Google Docs is I actually navigate to google.com and I make sure I'm in the right account, and then I hit those little dots in the upper right hand corner. I scroll down to the Docs image, I click it, and then in the upper left hand corner I click the plus, and that is a new document. The first thing I do up here is move my margin as far to the left as possible, and then I go to my side margin and I scroll up and it moves my margin all the way to the top. This is going to ensure that I am maximizing my space in Google Docs, meaning I'm not going to have a large margin, so my pictures aren't going to have to be smaller. My pictures can be on the larger side because I'm maximizing all of the space in Google Docs. Now, I just simply drag the image from my folder and I drop it onto the document, and you can see it just kind of goes in there. So I'm going to do it again with the second one, and then I just start to resize it by dragging the corners of the box that is already selected when you drag and drop it. And the name of the game here is to resize the images so you can get all 4 or however many you want onto one page. And so it's kind of a game because Google Docs will automatically bump the bottom photo to the next page if everything isn't fitting properly. So what I like to do is kind of get a couple out there and start resizing them. Now, I didn't like the black top and bottom on this picture, so I dropped it into Photoshop really quick and I cropped out the black on the top and bottom. You can see it lines up a little bit more nicely with the other picture, and I just didn't want to waste that black ink and waste the space on that black top. So now I am just resizing all of my images, and I'm going to drag another one because it looks like I've got a full page here, but I still have more images to add, and so the page layout might change a little bit. I'm just trying to see which ones I've selected, and so by doing that, I'm looking for a different view in my folder so I can see, there we go. Now I know, okay, which ones have I picked and which ones haven't I picked. So I'm going to select this one, which I haven't picked, and I kind of like the way that looks. And I'm not liking that poem on the bottom that I saved. I don't know, I just don't like it. So I'm going to delete it. I'm just going to select it and I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard. And now I have a full page of images. And I really like the way this looks. So now I want to add this kitten image, and you can see it drops it in the middle. And so you have to delete it and put a hard return so you get a second page like I just did there, and add it in. And there you can see it's a different viewpoint. I have my kitten image added to the bottom. So I'm just going to repeat what I did there. I put my cursor to the edge of my last photo. I hit the return button on my keyboard and it went down to a second page, and then I was able to insert my picture there. Once I inserted my picture, this kitty one, it was kind of dark and kind of dull, and I didn't really like the way that it was appearing in Google Docs. And so what I did, and that's what I'm doing right now actually, is I just right click on the image and I select image options from the drop down menu, and that pulls up a little menu on the side where I can do adjustments. And so I'm going to click on the adjustments. It's going to drop down, and I'm just going to work on these sliders. Brightness is going to make it brighter, and contrast is going to make the color a little bit deeper. And so I'm just experimenting with the different sliders until I get an image that I actually like. And I like that one. And so I decided to go through the other images and do the exact same thing to them, because I thought, oh, hey, I think all of these could use a little bit of a deepening in color, and I just increased the contrast in order to kind of get a deeper, more solid image. Final image that I'm going to add is this floral paper, and I don't want to waste the vertical space, so I'm going to take that little wand at the top and I'm going to just move my mouse to the right, and it's going to automatically rotate it so it is a landscape instead of a portrait orientation. But you can see that it's splitting the images and it's giving me a few problems, so I just have to do the same thing that I did in the beginning, and I have to resize the images so they'll all get to fit. Now I make this one drastically smaller so I can drag it up to the top and it'll fit. And then I just take little baby steps and I add a little bit more height to each, and whoops, it dropped it down. So that means I have to make it lower. And so now I'm just kind of testing the waters to see, well, how big can I go here before it kicks me off. So you can see I have some issues again with the top, because that's just what Google Docs does, and so you always have to readjust. So I'm just making these two bottom ones a little bit smaller. I'm going to readjust. Oop, now you can see it dropped it down, so that was too big. And now I feel like I've got them all sized and in a really great spot, and so I'm going to print it. So I am just double checking to make sure they're all on the same page, and I go to File and I select Print. I navigate to my printer and I select Print, and then it starts to print. Here are those images that I just printed, and you can see they're nice and dark, deep in color. I did use some photo matte paper, so it's a heavier application of ink, and the paper does kind of pull in the ink and absorbs it to create a richer image. And I'm just really liking the way that these actually turned out. I'm very pleased with it. So I know that I want to cut those apart, and I know that I also want to use this postcard that I got from a calendar that I ordered from a lady on Etsy. Here is the calendar. It is next to my computer, and I just love it so much. She does all of these illustrations, and they are just so incredibly sweet. So I knew that I wanted to add that into my journal. So I'm just going to set up my journal right now, get it ready for me to start documenting. But the first thing I'm going to do is just cut apart all of my pictures that I just printed, because that way I am able to store them all in one place, and I'm more apt to use them if they're cut up and ready to go, instead of me having to cut them before each and every application. Also, it kind of allows me to think beforehand about how or which picture I might want to use in an upcoming journal layout. Just wanted to give you a close-up of these images that I printed, because we did spend a little time at the beginning of this video working on that. And here they are, and you can see they are really quite beautiful. Now, I do want to stress that these are not images that you can sell. These are for personal use, for your own journal. These are not to be sold on Etsy or anything like that. So this is definitely all just for personal use. So I know that I want to use this little girl out the window with these birds on my cover page because she is just so beautiful. And I put her on a piece of brown craft paper, kind of like as a frame, because I want it to be the first thing that you see when you open up the journal. Now, for some reason, this paper was really curling. Both of them were. I don't know what was going on. So I had to really do a lot of gluing. And I also had to put a heavy book down on top to kind of get that flattened out a little bit. And so now I'm just going around the corners and I'm just getting all of it kind of glued down. And I'm just trying to see how I want these pages to lay out. And I quickly decide that I want to trim that first page down because I don't like how big it is. So I'm just taking off some of the top and I'm taking off some of the bottom, and I have to say, much better. I really like the way that looks much better. But I have to say that I didn't really like the lace that I had put there when I constructed the journal. I wanted something a little earthier, and so I had this crocheted lace that I thought would look really nice peeking out of the top and peeking out of the bottom, and I was right. I do like the way that looks. So I just glued that down over the lace, and I kind of like the way it looks next to that picture. So the next thing I'm doing here is just kind of creating a really quick template because I want to put a piece of blank paper over that poem, and that's where I'm going to do a little bit of journaling about winter and about January. So I take that piece of vellum that I used as a template, and I have a spare piece of drawing paper here, and I'm just creating a very loose template, kind of seeing what needs to be cut off, and then I'm going to glue it right on top. And I really like the way that that ended up turning out. I had no intention of doing that when I put that image in the inner cover, but I really like that idea. I think that's a really neat idea. I haven't done anything like that before. So now I'm just going to glue down this postcard on this next page because I just want to get it down so it stops floating around on my desk. And then I'm going to add the word January underneath this picture with some stickers that I have in my stash, because that's always the one thing that I'm always wondering when I open up a journal. If I'm looking through it, I think, what month and year was this done in? And so after I arrange these a little bit more evenly underneath, I am going to take some numbers that I had in my stash, and I'm going to add the number 2025 to that little template that I just added at the top. And that's going to get me ready to start journaling in my winter journal. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have much success in your own journaling endeavors. And if you'd like to learn more about how I love to find joy in winter, head on over to my blog at ginamakes.com, and I've got a couple new blog posts for you there. I'll see you next time.